Hi, what's up everybody? I just surpassed 1.3 million subscribers here on YouTube. Thank you all for that. It may look like everything is going smoothly for me, but that wasn't always the case. I feel like when I'm moving forward, I generally feel good about what I'm doing, but let me take this milestone to not only celebrate, but also look back at different times. A time when I got fired and even almost gave up on a career in guitar. The year is 2011. 1 year and a half after I graduated from college for music. I'm pretty sure they had college TV back in 2011, right? I was playing in some bands, from original work to cover bands, but my main income was through teaching. I lived in a very cheap home, which made it possible for me to make ends meet. And in that year, 2011, I applied for a job where I would be teaching at an elementary school as a sort of extracurricular lessons. Not only did it pay better, but the hours were much sweeter. No more hasty microwave dinners. #blessed. So I applied for a job over there. And we had a nice chat about what the work entailed, how they as a company worked, and some other business aspects. I would get the call before next day. Exciting.
Gefeliciteerd, je hebt de job. Je past perfect in het profiel.
I got the job. Awesome. These kids were ranging from age 7 to age 12. Multiple groups of 10 to 15 kids each. Sweet. So at this time I was already teaching for like 4 years. I had quite the experience, albeit mostly with private students. The company said they would provide me with a curriculum they used, which was super helpful. I had no experience with teaching bigger groups, so I wanted these kids to be excited about the instrument. But the sentence, "it didn't go quite as planned," was an understatement. First of all, the curriculum I was supposed to work with, it wasn't there, apparently. A few days before the lessons started, I just got a list like week 1, the guitar. Week 2, picking. Week 3, picking 2. And so on. That's hardly a curriculum. No handouts, no lessons, no exercises. I had to make all of these lessons myself very last minute. But I had no idea about the pacing, about how teaching a group this big would go. The first class I had to teach were around 12 kids. And they were testing me right from the get-go, seeing how far they could go before I lost my patience. At the time I just wanted to be the cool teacher that wanted to share the love of the guitar. Little did I know that it wasn't the way to go. I couldn't keep order. At the conservatory I learned about didactics, but never on how to be a real teacher in front of an entire class. So picture this, me standing with my guitar in front of a dozen kids, trying to get them to play the first string while they were literally bashing each other's head in with guitars, shouting, screaming, running around. It was terrible. And I'm not exaggerating, this is really how it was. I remember they calling me names and just being very rude in their behavior. I think this partly has to do with this very neighborhood I'm walking in right now, where the school was. It wasn't the best neighborhood, no offense. So here I was, trying and failing to get control over these loose projectiles, and trying and probably also failing to teach them guitar. So every once in a while I had a breakthrough. As I went along, I learned about the kids, about teaching them. But then another thing made it impossible for me to properly teach. So all these kids had a guitar, but there wasn't one single guitar that was actually playable. So I dug around in my emails and what I found was this. So here's a screen cap that shows one email I sent to the company, and I translate this for you. The guitars on the school are in a terrible condition. There's not one single guitar that has all the strings, and multiple guitars just aren't playable. Most of these guitars are just the toy guitars, you can find in the toy store. Each time I had to go back, I felt more and more reluctant to go. I remember waking up on the Wednesdays. Oh, not again today. Not today. And after I got back home, I felt like just super happy that I had a whole week off before going back to that place. So this was so far from why I started to pursue a career in music. And I had the feeling I was going nowhere. And as I said before, if I'm going forward, I'm a happy guy. Well, this was going absolutely nowhere, let me tell you that. But then I got a call from the company saying, maybe it's good if we talked about what's going on at the school. And all I could think was, hell yeah, let's talk. I think it's absolutely terrible. So I said, little tone down, I don't feel like I'm at the right place. I'm a guitar teacher, not a school teacher. I never was trained for this, nor do I have the experience. Well, they felt the same way about it. They probably had some complaints from the school. It just wasn't working out. I got fired. This is the place. There was one upside though. During recess I got to sit in the sun for 30 minutes. Yes. And getting paid. This was a small relief for a while, but getting out of this job of course also didn't bring me any further in my career or life. So now let's talk about the second part of the title. Almost quitting guitar. I felt like things just weren't working out. The dream I had as a kid, it just wasn't this. Too much teaching, too little paid gigs, barely making ends meet. I felt like I used so little of my potential as a person, not even as a musician per se, but I just wasn't doing what I felt like I was good at. I didn't have the inspiration or the energy to take on new projects. This for me was a sign that I wasn't at my place. So I decided to apply for a desk job. Yes, sitting behind a very different desk than the one I sit at today. I remember it vividly. I applied for a job at a big web shop selling instruments online. Yes, very nice. The idea was that maybe this way I would find the love bag for my instrument while earning a living. The romantic idea of this musician working a day job to support his art. Well, let me spoil the ending for you. I did not get the job. My background wasn't relevant at all. They probably rather hired a marketeer than a musician, which I understand. But let me tell you, I'm beyond glad they did not hire me, because if they did, chances are I wouldn't have been here. It was after this rejection that I felt like I had to do something for myself. Instead of being a guitar player for a band, or a teacher for a music school, or the office worker for a company, I wanted to build something for myself. And that's how I rolled into what I've been doing for the last 4 years. And another big step I took recently is that I developed an online guitar course aimed at beginners or people that are feeling stuck. So I didn't stop teaching bigger groups after all. If anything, with all the teaching I did, everything I went through, maybe it all led up to me making that course. So maybe I'll see you around in the course. It's called Learn, Practice, Play. Check it out at learnpracticeplay.com. Up to today. Now I really feel like I'm moving forward, which makes me a very happy guy. I never thought that when I started the YouTube thing it would become what it is today. 1.3 million subscribers. I mean, that's just nuts. But I think it's working out because I followed my guts and my heart, and because I love doing it. But just know that it hasn't always been like this. I struggled too, and maybe that makes me even more appreciative of where I am right now, today. So thanks for watching this video and my channel in general. It's what keeps me going. And maybe this video can inspire people that also are somewhat in the same boat that I was in a few years back. So take care everyone. Feel free to share in the comments what's keeping you busy these days. If you've got struggles or maybe you've overcome these struggles, help each other out. That will be very much appreciated for everyone, I think. Take care everyone. Bye.